everybody. This is John Biasiello from Sukay Associates. Just wanted to welcome you back to another session of 3 questions. Today I got a good one for you. Is my friend and fellow Delawarean, Bill Strickland, is going to be here with us. I'm going to talk to Bill a little bit about what's going on over at L&W, and hopefully you all will get a great benefit out of one, meeting Bill, and also hearing what he has to say about some of the stuff going on in the industry. So Bill, first of all, welcome, and thank you so much for doing this 3 questions. I really appreciate it, and I know you're only doing it because the Phillies are doing so well, and you and I do like to chat about that often, and but today I'm going to try and get off my Philadelphia Phillies horse and talk a little bit about insurance. So,
great.
Welcome.
Thank you, John.
And this is something I do, and I call it 3 questions, but generally there's more than 3 questions. So if I throw a few in there, hopefully you won't mind. One of the things I like to do, Bill, is I'd like you to introduce yourself, and just a little compliment. I went out on your website to look at your about video, and I have to tell you, I was pretty impressed about how that was done, and a lot that was going on out there. Learned a lot, about what L&W has going on, and just from that one little video. So congratulations to whoever put that together.
Yeah, thank you, John. I think that the video did an excellent job of capturing not what we do, but who we are at L&W. And I think there's an important distinction between the 2 things. We have been a community-based independent insurance agency since 1932. And we take our commitment of giving back and connecting with the community very seriously. So much so that our producers are charged with belonging to 2 civic and/or business groups in the communities that they reside in. I think it's very important that your clients and the public see you out and about giving back, and not just in a selling situation. That was a lesson learned from my predecessor, Davis Wood, who is the W in the L&W. Dave developed a very customer-centric model to how you do insurance, but he also stressed the importance of connecting with the community. So since 1932, we've made that a focal point of what we do at L&W. And initially, we started as a small independent in Dover. Now we have 3 offices in the state of Delaware. We're located in Greenville. We have the office in Dover, and we have an office in Ocean View. We're the only Delaware agency that has a physical office in all 3 counties. So it's imperative that as we grow, that we stay very true and committed to the roots of L&W, which again are really a customer-centric delivery and a commitment to our community.
Yeah, that's interesting, Bill, and I think it's really important, especially and maybe you could talk a little bit about. And I've written and talked about this extensively about the entrance and the new entrance into the marketplace and how that's affecting the insurance business here in Delaware. Some of the private equities that have arrived and are trying to make some inroads into the Delmarva area. I was wondering if you had any comments as far as what's going on there.
Well, no doubt, like many areas in the country, Delaware is changing the landscape. There is a significant change with recent private equity acquisitions. From my perspective, at L&W, what we look for is a partner. I look for more of a marriage than a funeral. And I think aligning yourself with the right entity that has similar values, and putting it out there that you want to create a win-win in any type of merger or acquisition is vitally important. And I'm not saying it in a disparaging way towards any of the recent acquisitions. I understand why owners of independent agencies in our state and in the region have chosen to sell. But from my perspective, the independent insurance agent is one that's very connected to the community and very connected to their clients. So minimizing disruption, I think, is vitally important when you start to look at not only your relationship with those folks, but also your legacy. Legacy is very important, and the legacy of staying true to your values is something that we look for in L&W. We look for agencies in the first state and in the surrounding areas that might be focused on delivering that same type of commitment to their community and to their clients.
Yeah, and so it sounds to me like that you're interested in growing, and wouldn't hesitate to do that through acquisition. So maybe you can give us an idea of sort of an ideal candidate, that might.
So John, that's very much, I'm old, been at this for a long time, and my current charge is to grow L&W. We are well positioned for the future. Of the 11 producers that we have currently, only 2 are over the age of 50. And I unfortunately happen to be one of those as a senior member. My task is to allow us to grow in an appropriate manner that's based on organic growth, which we're doing a really good job of. But importantly, I've come to understand that acquisition opportunities need to be explored. And our commitment to doubling the size of L&W in the next 5 years is predicated around acquisition pursuit. And that's really what I'm engaged in now pretty much every day here at L&W.
And Bill, just from chatting, you and I, that there's lots of players in the marketplace out there. Private equity, there's public brokers, there's smaller agencies just trying to get bigger. So what if I had to pick something, if there was a quick way of you saying, what makes you different, or what would make you attractive to a potential acquisition?
Yeah, so it's interesting, John. We have been the benefactor of folks, longtime clients of some of our competitor agencies who have recently sold, who call because they don't want to talk to 1-800. I don't care. They want to maintain a relationship that feels personal, that has the same connectivity to the agent that sold them the policy. They want to be with an agency that is committed to the community. Independent agencies, look for different things, and what the culture and fit are so vitally important. And what I find with culture is we have to align ourselves with people who constantly look for the win-win, who are constantly looking to take care of the clients, who are constantly looking to stay committed to the community and have the same values in both regards. That's the type of agency that I think might find a model like partnering with L&W to be a very attractive one, because we're not going to be disruptors, okay? We're going to allow the relationship, the service model, the consistency to stay in place. At the same time, allowing them to reap the financial benefits as agency owners of the hard work they put in for many years growing their agency. So I used a comparison about, divorce, funerals, or marriage. We're looking for a marriage. We're looking to join. We're not looking to come in and end or discontinue the way the agency may have done business for many years.
So if you were to describe an ideal candidate from a size standpoint? I mean, is there something that is interesting to you, or is it a type of business, or what would be a ideal sort of candidate for someone who would like to that you would like to join forces with?
So, really, for me, it's about fit. It's about culture. So for me, it's about what I enjoy going to dinner on Saturday night with that person. And as an agency owner, engaging with them in a meaningful way and understanding what's really important to them versus having a benchmark that is aligned strictly to a financial model or premium size. We've grown considerably in the last 5 years. And in doing so, we've built a team that is everybody's rowing the boat in the same direction. So it's going to be imperative for us that we're aligning with someone that's going to be a good fit, not just for the agency owner, but for the employees. That's often the discussion point that's not held is, how are you going to protect Susie, who's been with me for 20 years and has been extremely loyal and effective in serving our clients. So John, I tend to take it away from the matrix of financial premium size and make it more about fit and culture.
That's great. And there's a ton of stuff out on our website. I know as far as some ways of creating that perfect fit. And I think I talk a little bit about finding the right home, right? And I think it's more about that, right? It's finding the right home, and not just the best home, but the right home. So I think that's very positive. So
I'm a disciple to your podcast, John. So if some of this sounds somewhat redundant, or at least reinforcing your messaging about fit, particularly, I've noted in some of your podcasts that you've constantly gone to that place of fit, and I think you're spot on. You've been immensely successful in your business, and I'm sure as you recount, right, the success stories, they've largely come from acquisitions or mergers that were tied to a fit, much more so than they were tied to a financial consideration.
Yeah, and I think this particular market, since it's both of our homes, is pretty unique. I mean, this market's very unique. I mean, people want to do business with people that they know and trust, and I think that's extremely important.
Well, Delaware candidly functions more as a village than it does a state. And connectivity, the degrees of separation are very small. And it's not uncommon to be having breakfast with someone in Wilmington and then finishing up your day with a client dinner in Rehoboth. That's the uniqueness of a relationship-driven area like Delaware.
And how do you see the other markets, like say southeastern Pennsylvania or maybe the eastern shore of Maryland go? Is that interesting to you?
It is very interesting. I think southeastern PA, and particularly southern Jersey and the eastern shore of Maryland, function a lot like Delaware. I think relationships still drive business, and I think that with what we've done in Greenville and Wilmington, what we've noticed is that we're able to recruit folks in Wilmington that we might not have been able to recruit to Dover. So for me, it's a part of a growth strategy to expand into these other states because, it's a people business, and the ability to be in these other states, I think, allows us to get better because it allows us to have access to the talent that may exist outside of our traditional central Delaware area where we were for so many years.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think those markets are very similar because of the close proximation. So if you had, if you're out there trying to reach out to an agency or a potential partner, let's call that. I mean, what would your call to action to them be at this point?
Well, first of all, if you're interested in really doing something special for your agency, to create a legacy that's non-disruptive to yourself and to your clients and to your employees, give us a call. Give me a call. Let's sit down and talk about how a shared alignment might make sense to creating the type of legacy model that folks who have invested so much of their time in their business, like I have, like many of my peers have, could really benefit from. And importantly, their clients and employees could benefit from. So the call is, let's get to know one another.
Great, Bill. Listen, again, I really want to thank you for doing this. Wish you luck in your, your endeavors. We're willing to help any way we can. Thank you for your support of Sukay Associates, and again, I really appreciate you coming out today and answering those 3 or 6 questions, depending on how you look at it.
Well, John, my friend, it's always good to see you, and thank you for all you do for our business and our industry. You're one of the good guys. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Bill.